It is October 15th, 2020. We're here on the rooftop of the property at 4004 Alabama Street, San Diego, California, 92104. We have two bathrooms to the house, and it appears that this bathroom that we're above right here is the master bathroom, was added on. We have all new ABS vent pipe right here. Bunch of cobwebs in there. We'll see if there's some 90s on the vent or if it's a straight shot. Sometimes those 90s and turns, which we've just encountered here, will prevent the camera from getting into the line. However, we did see that in the crawl space, here's another turn, that the pipe is all plastic. We also verified that the kitchen and laundry are all plastic as well. We do have a hall bathroom, which was the original bathroom, and that may or may not have some possible cast iron left on that. We'll have to see. Okay, so it appears we're in the drain line right now. We were able to push in. I don't know again how far we're going to be able to get to go because we've made a lot of turns in very small pipes. So we're only 20 feet out, just into a little bit of the wet part of the line, and we're definitely jammed up here. So we can't get an internal view of this, but again, this pipe is all brand new plastic, so we wouldn't expect to have any issues with that. We're going to go ahead and pause for a second and wipe off our camera lens. 1 second. Okay, so we pushed just a few inches forward, clean off our lens again. So again, with plastic pipe, the only thing we're usually looking for would be standing water, because the pitch or the slope of the pipe was done improperly. We're dumping right here into the beginning of the main sewer, but we've made, again, so many turns we can't get farther past this point. So as we back up the line right here, here's where this small 2-inch pipe had entered. We back up just a little bit more, coming across this line, and then right here you can see on the right of the screen, you can see that liquid water right there. So that's where the drain from the sink probably dumps into the system. So we can't get all the way across from the main, which is a pretty short run until it ties into the other part of the main. And again, this is all exposed in the crawl space. So we're going to go ahead and pause and move over to the original hall bathroom. Okay, so that vent pipe right there, right in the middle of the screen, without the cap on it, that is the vent we just came from. So again, it's only about 10 to 15 feet or so, and then we run across the rooftop here. Just to give you perspective, here's the cross street, which is, I believe, Lincoln. And so this is the corner house. So there's Alabama on that side. And here's the backyard. We came from that master bathroom. We could only get a few feet across. Here's the original 4-inch cast iron vent for the hall bathroom. Bunch of cobwebs in here. We'll see if we have to clean those off here. We're just going to first go down the line all the way. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to go ahead and pause the video and clean that up. So we're going to go ahead and pause for 1 second and get that removed. Okay, so we're going to go back down this vent here. Hopefully we've gotten rid of most of the debris that's going to clog the front of the lens up again. So we like to go down the old original cast iron vents. Looks like we've got some newer pipe here, because sometimes they can be cracked, broken, or also have a lot of flaking going on where the material actually gets down the pipe and clogs up the line itself. And we can see that there's a T-branch right there that's picking up the other vent. Going down here a few more feet. Okay, here, let's see if we can turn our camera lens. Here's where the toilet dumps in right there. There's the T-junction that picks up the horizontal trap arm from, or the closet arm from, the toilet drain. So a little bit of vertical. This is already where it's the sewer line, and then we immediately now will transition into the horizontal pipe. So this is original cast iron. This is exposed under the house. You can see part of this horizontal line when we first got to the property, and we're kind of seeing the lay of the land. So a little bit of scale and deposits on the very bottom there, but minimal. We don't expect to find any roots or anything else off here because it's all exposed. And then here you go. Here's our plastic T-junction. So right there, that is the T-junction on the top of the screen. that starts to pick up the rest of the other bathroom, as well as then the kitchen also is going to dump into this plastic line. Now we have a T-junction right here, kind of off to the left. It's kind of hard to see, but that is a clean out access we may need to go from if we can't get pushed all the way out to the city street. Right next to the water softening system, there's our kitchen drop-in right there. There is a branch that they have it for the regenerative line for that dumping into the system, and so they also have a clean out cap on that to access. So this ABS right here is just partially exposed up to the foundation wall, and then it goes and disappears into the dirt. And then you can see right here, it appears we have a possibly relined pipe. That might be a liner in there. Yeah, so we had original cast iron, and they put a liner inside the pipe itself. So on the right hand side of the screen, somewhat hard to see, but there's a thin little, looks like a band-aid or a strip, and that is part of the lining material itself. So this is original cast iron, but it's been relined and coated. That makes it smooth on the inside. And typically most companies will give you a 10-year warranty, so they kind of guarantee there's no way roots would get through that as well, or that there'd be any other issues with it. So it's a thin beading inside. Looks like we have a T-junction right there. We got a little bit of debris in our camera lens. We're may need to put some water down to rinse that off. But we've got a T-junction possibly right there for a clean out. In fact, we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second and get that flushed out. Okay, so we've flushed the toilet once, ran a little bit of cold water in the sink and tub at the same time. So I think that might just be a shadow on the line. It looks like a normal oval curvature on the top of the pipe for a clean out. But as we go across, it doesn't appear to go up and open up and in. So just a shadow effect from the lining. Here's a little hub. So all this is coated and relined. So it's possible we don't go to Lincoln. It's possible this runs through an easement underneath the next two properties to get to the alleyway, because we're still headed straight here. So it appears that maybe have happened. There you can see the letters and numbers on the pipe right there from the relining material. So yeah, it appears that this may continue to the alleyway. So we'll see if we have enough push rod on this particular camera to get there or not, depending on which way it's going. But again, all this was recoated, making it smooth, things not to catch and to hold the cast iron from getting any damaged material or any roots from getting in. So this is kind of essentially taken care of. We're going to push through this a little bit quick here. As we get out further, sometimes it gets hard to push the push rod out. So you can see there are little undulations in the pipe because this is not a spray coating polyethylene liner, which typically they clean up the pipe a little bit harder, and then the spray coating that goes in is a little bit thicker, so you get these little bit of movements you'll still have on here. But overall, again, no issues with this liner at all. Now right now we're going down at about a 90-degree turn right there, so we're hanging vertically down and now somewhat corrected to a horizontal again. It is quite steep for where this house is to where it gets to the alleyway, so there's just probably a large change in the depth that it had to go by one or two of the houses here to pass by. Got some debris on our lens again, but we're actually getting to the end of this push rod. This is only a little over 125 feet on this particular one, but obviously this line travels extremely far. So we're going to have to go ahead and pause and bring up another camera that's got a 200 foot on our van and see if we can get out the full 200 feet, see how close that gets to the alleyway. Okay, so we have a new camera here. It's going to be a little bit longer, so we're going to go back down this pipe here and see. Apologize, the camera's breaking up a little bit going through the new container it sits in. So we've seen all this. We're going to push through this relatively fast. There's all the plastic ABS in the crawl space. Here's the beginning of the reline pipe. Again, we apologize. This camera here, for some reason, is acting up in the new drum that we just swapped out the cables with. So we got out to about 120 feet on the last one, just past that. So we're going to push through this really quick. We may have to run some water to continue past this point. We'll see once we get to that mark. Yeah, it's getting really tough to kind of push it out on occasion here. So we're going to go ahead and just get a few more feet out, and then we're going to go ahead and turn the water on. There's our couple turns on the line that we had made. We're now out to that 120-foot line mark. So we'll go ahead and pause the video for a second and get some water running through the system. Okay, so we have the original hall bathroom tub and lavatory sink cold water running on the system. So we're going to push through here kind of quick. Oh, looks like we just made a transition possibly to clay pipe. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's the end of the liner. So we're still in this. We again apologize for the camera breaking up on occasion with this 200-foot module we had to add on. So there's the orange-red clay pipe. As we back up, it appears with the water running, it's kind of skewing the angle, the lighting, but this is still the relined pipe. It definitely appears. And I don't know if this ever does T-junction into the neighbor's property, because there's a house in between here and the alleyway, or actually two houses. So it's possible they could be sharing it. It's hard to say. Here's the clay pipe. Again, we apologize this camera's breaking up like this. We're not sure why it's doing this in this drum, but here's the orange-red clay pipe, which is also a turn on the line. And it's got another little turn right there. It's like a heavy turn we're on right now. Vertical pipe again. Yeah, we're hanging vertically down, so we're going vertical again. We had that one transition, and it looks like we have another one now. Okay, we were able to get through that and push out quite a few feet. We're now in an area that's got a lot of water, either based on the angle the pipe's at, or we could be already into the larger pipe that's shared by the neighbors, or into the city itself. Okay, so we're out almost 150 feet from here. It does not look like we're going to be able to get this pushed out any further than where we're at right here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and pause the video, shut the water off, and see if the water that's cascading by the camera is just the water that we're running, or if we have already junctioned into either the city or the neighbor's pipe that's shared, and that would mean the water would still be going by the camera lens. Okay, so you can see again we're almost at about 145 feet, and the water is still cascading by. We shut the water off a little while ago, and we went and walked from the edge of this property, this west side that the line leaves, and walked west towards the alleyway past the two houses, and it's probably about 100 feet from the side of this house to the alleyway, so that would make sense that we are in the city line. We did not see any clean outs at the property line in the alleyway where this or the next two houses land up junctioning in as well. We did see a tear up in the middle, and then we can see a sewer manhole in the street directly across from the alleyway, essentially in the middle of the street though on Lincoln. So that's definitely the way we're headed. We're now going to go ahead and pull back on the line and see what we can see without our water running where it transitions. Okay, so there you go. We just came out of that last bit of the clay pipe. There's the city line right there that we're dumping into. So we're now coming back up this clay pipe. We'll verify that there's no roots or any issues with that clay pipe. As you can see, this is nice and open. Looks like we're hanging on this vertical pipe. Again, we apologize, this camera lens and push rod for some reason keep breaking up just slightly. Okay, here's our turn on the clay that we had passed. Everything looks clear through there. That looks like that turn might be a T-junction, but again, it's open and free and clear, no roots. No other problems. There is the transition from the clay back into the cast iron pipe. Again, we want to sincerely apologize for this breaking up this way. It's not sure why it's doing that when we changed out the drum. And here's the relined pipe of the cast iron. So you can see they went all the way just to the very last edge of the cast iron and stopped, which is a few inches, and then it transitions back to the clay, which we now know is free and clear from there to the alleyway. So from the rooftop, it's about 143 feet out, or 145 feet out. We know that, again, there's a ground level clean out in the little storage crawl space area on the southwest corner of the house, right past the softening whole house filter system. There is a 4-inch access there, so if the line ever backed up, that would be the spot. You would not have to come from the roof vent here, but again, we just started with here to make sure the roof vents were okay, so we had all our equipment up here. So we're going to pull back up through this 20 some odd feet here of this line back just to show the rest of this that we had passed while we had the water running. That's that vertical drop right there. It was also relined. It's done cleanly. And then back and across here, back into the horizontal, which we've seen already, all of this. So again, the line is in good condition, does not require any repairs or maintenance, and shouldn't need anything anytime in the future at all. So we basically have a clean bill of health here with new plastic lines for the master bathroom that was added, new plastic for the kitchen and laundry, and then we have a relined cast iron pipe for the original main sewer running to the alleyway with a little bit of clay, but no issues with the clay. So that concludes this recording.